I had a question, but we run out of time. Listen, this is extraordinary, this documentary.
Oh, yeah. I
Keep
agree.
making all the documentaries.
If there is one celebrity who has not conformed to Hollywood evil agenda, it is allegedly Morgan Freeman, and recently he did not shy away calling out The View for their plan to ridicule him on a live TV. So what exactly is going on? Morgan Freeman came on The View to talk about his new Netflix series, but shockingly, the A-list celebrity only had the interview for minutes. During the conversation, Sunny Hostin suggested she wanted to talk about Freeman's 61st Tank Battalion documentary.
You about a different documentary.
Go ahead.
As some politicians around the country try to erase Black history, you're making sure people don't forget vital parts of our past, including this documentary.
This suggestion by Hostin allegedly shocked the show's producers in the back, and we're going to start to get a little bit worried about what Morgan Freeman could possibly say. Well, Morgan began by correcting Hostin's statement concerning the documentary.
61st Tank Battalion, the original Black Panthers, about the first Black battalion to fight in World War II.
First Black Armored Battalion.
Mood to speak his mind, so we need to be careful here with this subject. Last thing we need is this guy saying things that we don't agree with you. See, The View is known for presenting a distinct ideological viewpoint to its audience, aiming for not only engagement, but also agreement. The last thing the producers wanted was for Freeman to voice opinions contrary to their own, disrupting the established harmony of their messaging. The particular concern arose from the fact that Freeman, as a Black American, had the potential to challenge the show's stance, particularly on matters related to Black history. In this scenario, having a Black American voice dissenting views posed a unique challenge for The View. The fear was that if Freeman were to elaborate on his perspective, he might unveil uncomfortable truths that contradicted the prevailing narrative. The producers were keenly aware that Freeman, given his stature and past statements, had the ability to share insights that the show might prefer to keep under wraps. In any case, Morgan Freeman does not ride the woke train when it comes to this topic. Black History Month. In a candid interview about race relations in the U.S., Freeman told the UK's Sunday Times that Black History Month is an insult. Black history is American history. They're completely intertwined. Freeman argued, "You're going to relegate my history to a month." The Oscar award-winning actor went on to say he doesn't like being called African American because the label is inaccurate. "I do subscribe to that title." Freeman said Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word, and "I do not know how these things get such a grip, but everyone uses African American." He continued, "What does it really mean? Most Black people in this part of the world are mongrels. And you say Africa as if it's a country when it's a continent like Europe." He compared the term to others like Irish American or Italian Aman, which denote a country of origin. Freeman said he instead prefers the term Black. He said he agreed with actor Denzel Washington's iconic quote about being very proud to be Black. "But Black is not all I am. I'm in total agreement." Freeman concurred, "You can't define me that way." This is not the first time Freeman has voiced upset about the term African American. In 2012, he told The Guardian he preferred Black as a classification because Black is beautiful, one syllable versus 7. In the Sunday Times interview, Freeman also briefly opened up about his iconic film career, which began amid the American Civil Rights Movement. He said he owes his success to courage, luck, and a changing political and social landscape. In the U.S., Freeman claimed there were little to no Black actors in movies during his youth until Sidney Poitier, the first Black actor to win an Academy Award, began to pave the way. This perspective likely prompted backstage producers to signal to Whoopi Goldberg to conclude the interview swiftly. The concern lay in the potential fallout from the audience, as the viewership of The View might interpret such candidness as a departure from the show's established narrative. The fear was that those tuning in might perceive a breach in the presumed wokeness, realizing that they had been misled. In essence, Morgan Freeman's unfiltered remarks were seen as a moment of unvarnished honesty, a revelation of undeniable truths that resonated with a segment of the audience. In any case, the actor also talked about his Netflix docuseries Life on Our Planet. Morgan Freeman looked The View co-hosts dead in the eye and told them the apocalypse is coming. "I am one of those people who's very interested in the subject life on the planet. You understand that today, life on the planet is in a little bit of trouble, and we're the cause of it," he said, referencing climate change there. have been, if I remember correctly, 6 extinction-level events on the planet since life began, not human life, we're talking just life gone destroyed. We're headed for another one, scientists have said. If we don't hurry up and change our ways, there's going to be a cataclysmic event that will wipe many of us off the face of the earth. Freeman followed his remarks with a message of hope. However, for one entity's survival amid humanity's suspected doom, how far back does life exist on this planet and why? Does it still exist? He asked. It's because life is tenacious life. We're not talking about human beings here. We're talking about the planet. Shall stay a clearly disturbed bear. Observe that the planet will be tenacious if we leave it alone and enact change to curb the climate crisis. The human interruption of all of that is causing all of the problems, she said. I hope it's not too late. This discussion was cut short when Whoopi was signaled by the show producers to end the show.
I had a question, but we run out of time. Listen, this is extraordinary, this documentary.
While it appeared that Morgan was all right with ending his time on The View earlier than perhaps expected, longtime viewers didn't agree. What's more, they proceeded to bombard the show online to voice how they shouldn't have allowed the segment to end so abruptly. One fan commented, "They have all the time in the world to let Joy ramble on with her hate-filled diatribes, but not enough time to let a great, upstanding man like Morgan Freeman speak." A second fan added, "You'll need to invite this legend back. Injectee ESEP. 6 minutes is not nearly long enough. He deserves at least half an episode." Whilst a third fan added, "What the F is going on with this show? They have one of the most talented and iconic actors of our time, and they only give him a 5-minute segment and cut him off after 5 minutes, yet they have plenty of segments with Kardashians or some other Zest reality star that nobody cares about, and they give them segments that are 10-15 minutes long in any case." 1 year ago, The View also endured its own mini-apocalyptic event of its own, when protesters crashed Senator Ted Cruz's live interview on the show to criticize its parent network ABC's coverage of the environment.
Inflation in the United States has one cause and one cause only, and that is when the federal government spends too much money.
We do cover climate here, guys, conservative panelist Alyssa Farah Griffin said, after a group of people stood up in the audience to shout at Cruz, and the co-host Whoopi then interjected the protesters, saying, Ladies, excuse us. Let us do our job. Let us do our job. We hear what you have to say, but you gotta go." Now many people believe that the show cut Morgan Freeman short because they did not want a repeat of this incident. However, some allege that there is a more sinister reason for cutting short the interview. Apparently, The View producers were afraid of Morgan opening up a discussion that is contrary to the agenda being pushed by Hollywood elites. In fact, these elites are allegedly so threatened by Freeman that they have allegedly tried to frame him. You see in the intricate tapestry of Hollywood, Morgan Freeman, the iconic actor whose career has spanned decades, found himself entangled in a web of controversies that some fervent fans believed was a deliberate attempt by the industry to frame him. For context, an attorney for the man who allegedly aimed Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter Idina Hines reportedly claimed in court that Hines told her suspected Keir she and Freeman had an inappropriate relationship, an accusation both Freeman and Hines had previously vehemently dismissed. In a statement in 2012, Freeman said, according to TMZ, "The recent reports of any pending marriage or romantic relationship of me to anyone are defamatory fabrications from the tabloid media designed to sell papers. What is even more alarming is that these fabrications are now being picked up by the legitimate press as well." The late Hines concurred in her own statement per TMZ. "These stories about me and my grandfather are not only untrue, they are also hurtful to me and my family," she said. The man charged with unlawful Hindus was identified as Lamar Davenport. The suspect was charged with second-degree murder after authorities say he stabbed Hindus more than a dozen times outside their Washington Heights apartment on August 16, 2015. She was found lying in the street outside her home at 3:00 a.m. and was taken to a local hospital.